Welcome to Echo Tales Drama. Today's story is a unique production crafted and narrated by our team specifically for you.
The captive collapsed into the dirt, coughing up blood. Sajal checked his brother over, his breathing ragged. Enough. Are you okay? I'm fine, Saurabh breathed, wiping a smear of someone else's blood from his cheek. The overseer stepped forward, looking down at the broken, groaning men. What should we do with them, Khan sir? Should we cut off their heads and send their bodies back to their village? No. Sajal commanded, his voice cutting through the adrenaline-soaked air like a blade. Break their bones and send them back to Zafar Khan just like that. Let them tell the story of their own humiliation with their own lips. Take them away from here. As the guards dragged the wailing men away, Sajal turned to his brother, the fierce tribal chief melting away to reveal an anxious older brother. Saurabh, are you okay, man? All this. What is this? Look at you. I'm just slightly injured, Saurabh said, trying to shrug off the pain radiating from his knuckles and shoulder. Sajal pulled Saurabh into a fierce, protective embrace, his voice thick with uncharacteristic emotion. If something had happened to you today, Saurabh, I would never have been able to forgive myself. My brother. A feast on the highway. A world away from the blood-soaked dirt of the Conlands, the atmosphere at Bia's roadside eatery was filled with the tantalizing aroma of sizzling cumin and frying dough. At a wooden table under the shade of the canopy, Mudassir was practically shoving a piece of stuffed pastry into his mouth. Bro, you have to try this sauce, man, Mudassir mumbled around a mouthful of food, pointing enthusiastically at a small clay bowl. Bia approached the table with grace, placing a fresh platter down. Sir, here is your order. Thank you. Thank you, Mudassir beamed, dipping a hot fritter into the green mixture. Oh wow, 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 wow. He looked up at his friend Saad. Have you tried the sauce? Saad took a careful bite, his eyes widening. This is that, timberberry? The spicy one? Nice. Mudassir went to grab another, but Saad swatted his hand away jokingly. Leave it, leave it. Save some for the rest of us. Sarbalanth, sitting quietly across from them, caught Bia's eye as she turned to leave. Sir, is everything all right? She asked politely. It's very good, Sarbalanth replied, his voice smooth and refined. In fact, your presentation is so nice. It's very impressive. Bia's uncle, watching from the counter with a proud smile, leaned over. This is all our Bia's magic, sir. She does everything around here. She looks after everything. She looks things up on the internet and designs all of this herself. Oh, so this eatery is in her name? Saad asked, genuinely intrigued. Yes, sir, the uncle replied warmly. This is in Rabia's name. We just help her out, but all the hard work is hers. Just a minute, Sarbalanth interrupted gently as his phone began to vibrate against the wooden table. He glanced at the screen, and a soft expression completely transformed his features. He stood up, stepping away from the noise of the diners. Tayyab, he called out to a young boy helper. Give this to that table over there. Serve that table first. Put a water bottle there too. Saad watched Sarbalanth walk toward the edge of the property. Fritters are very tasty. Should we order some more? Boys, I'll be back after receiving this call, Sarbalanth called over his shoulder, hitting the green button on his screen. Yes, Sherbano Afraziab Khan. On the other end of the line, a sharp, aristocratic voice filled his ear, thick with impatient affection. Tell me, what would you like to say? Where on earth are you? And why haven't you arrived yet? You were supposed to be here hours ago. Since when have you been so restless, Banu? Sarbalinth teased, a quiet smile playing on his lips. I have every right to be restless. Sherbano huffed. I told you that some friends are with me, Saad, Jawad, me, Mudassir. We're all traveling together, so it's just taking a little time. Then why haven't you arrived yet? I am literally sitting here waiting for you. Well, it's the first free day we've had after a grueling exam season, Sarbalinth explained, looking out over the scenic highway stretching toward the mountains. So we're just coming along, wandering around, and relaxing. This is not fair, Sarbalinth, Sherbano said, her voice dropping to a softer, pouty tone. I'm waiting for you here and you are very bad. Yes, I am so bad, Sarbalinth chuckled, his heart swelling. So bad that you love me just as much, right? There is absolutely no cure for your wishful thinking, Sarbalinth Khan. Then let us be wishful thinkers, he countered smoothly. Just come quickly, please. I'm missing you a little. Sarbalinth leaned against a wooden pillar, his tone turning dripping with playful sarcasm. Yes, and on this long drive, in this beautiful weather, I'm not missing you at all. And I am certainly not that eager to arrive either, so I thought I'd just let you know. A brief pause echoed over the line before Sherbano snapped playfully, I don't want to talk to you. I was just kidding, man, Sarbalinth laughed, but the line had already gone dead. He smiled down at his phone, shaking his head. Back at the table, Saad and Mudassir were finishing up. The sauce was really good. The timberberry one, right? Saad remarked as Sarbalinth sat back down. Yes, Sarbalinth agreed. Good. The eatery's aesthetics are very good, very impressive. He raised his hand to catch Bia's attention. Yes, miss, how much is the bill? Bia calculated quickly on a small pad. Sir, your total is 1,070 rupees. Saad raised his eyebrows, pulling out his wallet. Wow, your rates are indeed very reasonable. It's just that God blesses us within this, Bia said with a modest, graceful dip of her head. Saad handed her a crisp bundle of notes. As she counted out the return notes, Saad waved his hand. Your change. Keep it. Thank you, sir, she said softly, stepping back inside the kitchen. A minute later, Mudassir stretched his arms, looking toward the parking lot where Sarbalinth was taking his sweet time walking back to the car. Well, here he is, Mudassir called out loudly. Were you printing money over there? What took so long just to pay a bill? Oh, try to understand, Mudassir, Saad smirked, nudging him. When a beautiful girl is running the eatery, delays are bound to happen. Shut up, Sarbalinth said, throwing a glare at Saad as he unlocked the doors. Hey, the snacks were really quite delicious, man, Mudassir defended himself, climbing into the back seat. I just went to praise them. It encourages a person. Home fires and haunting love. Back at the secondary estate belonging to Saurabh's branch of the family, the tension from the fields had traveled straight into the domestic quarters. Banu was frantically tearing through a medical kit while Saurabh sat stoically on the edge of the bed, his shirt stained with blood. You don't take any care of yourself at all. Banu cried, her hands shaking as she pulled out antiseptic and cotton. I'll bring you some warm broth, and right after that, I'm going to give a massive amount of charity on your behalf to ward off the evil eye. Oh, for God's sake, Banu, Saurabh sighed, wincing as she touched a wet cotton ball to his torn knuckles. You are the wife of such a brave, powerful man. Be a little brave yourself. The curtain to the room swung open, and Banu stepped in, her face turning pale the moment she saw the blood. "Brother." "Nothing happened, Banu," Sohrab said quickly, trying to block her view. "Brother, you're saying nothing happened, but you have a massive bandage on your hand." Banu rushed to his side, her voice climbing in panic. "Banu, I'm perfectly fine, nothing has happened." "What's wrong with you too?" "You were bleeding, Sohrab. You were ruthlessly attacked." Banu shouted back, tears threatening to spill from her eyes. "It's a minor injury. This happens all the time in our line of work," Sohrab replied stubbornly. "Brother, this is minor?" Banu chimed in, her voice trembling. "I know exactly what you did. You must have just called some local village compounder and had it bandaged like that. You probably didn't even show it to a proper doctor or have it thoroughly disinfected." "We are tribal people, Sherry," Sohrab said proudly, straightening his posture. "We don't run screaming to the hospital for such minor wounds." "Brother, you know that if the slightest thing happens to you..." Banu started, but she was interrupted by the rapid patter of small feet. "Dad." A young boy, Umar Daraz, came bursting into the room, his eyes wide as he looked at his father. Sohrab's stern face immediately melted into a brilliant, adoring smile. "My lion is here. Come here. How is my child?" The boy ran into his arms but stopped, pointing a small finger at the white gauze wrapped around his father's hand. "Dad, this injury?" Sohrab caught his son's chin gently. "I got a small injury, my lion. But it didn't hurt at all. Do you know why? Because your dad is a brave, fearless man. Our forefathers drove the mighty British out of our ancestral lands. We are the blood of those fearless warriors. You also have to become a brave man like Dad, right?" "Yes, Dad," the boy cheered, puffing out his chest. Banu threw her hands up in utter exasperation. "Just look at this. First, he comes home heavily injured, and on top of that, he's teaching Umar Daraz all sorts of violent nonsense." "Banu, I'm not teaching him any nonsense," Sohrab countered, his eyes flashing with the deep-seated pride of his heritage. "He is a man's child. Tomorrow, like Aga Sir, like Shardil, and like me, he also has to become a brave and completely fearless person." "Right, my boy?" "Yes, Dad." Sohrab tossed a small rubber ball to the boy, clapping his uninjured hand. "Let's play. Come on. Come here. Catch, catch." "Yes, Dad," the boy laughed, running after the ball. Banu watched them, her heart heavy with an anxious dread she couldn't shake. "I'm telling you, Sohrab, you should still show it to a real doctor just once." "Banu, I am perfectly fine," Sohrab repeated, his voice closing the discussion. "Nothing has happened." Preparations at the mansion. Meanwhile, across the grand estate in the central mansion, Banu was pacing through the guest rooms like a drill sergeant. Shireen followed behind her, carrying a stack of fresh linens. "Shireen, clean the bathroom well too," Banu ordered, pointing a manicured finger toward the ensuite. "I should be able to see my absolute reflection in the tiles." "Don't you worry, Banu madam," Shireen smiled reassuringly, setting down the towels. "I'll make the whole room sparkle from top to bottom." "You know I get very tense about these things, Shireen," Banu sighed, running a hand through her hair. "Everything has to be absolutely, entirely perfect." "Why are you getting so worried?" Shireen chuckled softly. "I've been cleaning Brother Sarbalantha's room with you since we were children. I know exactly how you want it. I know you want every single detail to be precisely to his liking. Banu stopped in her tracks, looking at the grand four-poster bed. Her brow furrowed. Don't talk so much. Look at this, the bedsheet is laid out entirely wrong. You know Sarbalanth doesn't like this bright color at all. I had actually taken out a specific one earlier. Go bring that one instead. Which one, madam? The khaki-colored one. I've kept a khaki-colored one in the linen closet. Bring it quickly and change this entire set. Banu looked around the grand room, a restless energy vibrating through her. I don't know what it is, but it feels like something is missing. Downstairs in the massive ancestral kitchen, the air was heavy with the rich, intoxicating scent of slow-cooked meat, saffron, and cardamom. Ghoul stood over a massive copper pot, stirring a rich gravy while shouting instructions to the kitchen staff. Listen to me carefully. Ghoul called out. Keep the spices very light in that dish. Sarbalanth doesn't like heavily spicy food at all. Another sister-in-law walked into the kitchen, fanning herself with a napkin. I was wondering why the entire kitchen smells of festive, royal food. Sarbalanth Khan is coming back, huh? It's no joke. Obviously, sister-in-law, Ghoul smiled, a deep warmth in her eyes. He's coming home after so many long months. His absolute favorite food must be cooked perfectly. And besides, he's also bringing guests from the city with him. It's a big, formal feast. The sister-in-law leaned against the counter, watching Ghoul's frantic but joyful movements. How you light up the very moment Sarbalanth comes back to the mansion, sister-in-law. Ghoul blushed slightly, adjusting her dupatta. May no evil eye be cast upon your and Sarbalantha's love, the sister-in-law said softly, her voice filled with genuine admiration. The beautiful love stories you read in romance books. Your love seems just like that to me. Perfect. Untouchable. She patted Ghoul's arm gently. Stay happy always. Oh, and please, make some green tea for BB John when you get a chance. An unwelcome shadow. Back at the highway dhaba, the lunch rush had finally begun to slow down. Bia was wiped down the front counter when an old shadow darkened the doorway. A tall, arrogant young man from a rival local family stepped into the light, a smug, possessive smirk pasted across his face. Hello, uncle, he said carelessly to Bia's uncle, before turning his gaze entirely upon her. Hello, Miss Rabia. Are you okay? Bia froze, her rag stopping mid-stroke. Her posture stiffened into iron. I'm fine, she said, her voice dripping with ice. The man smiled, stepping further into the eatery, adjusting his heavy gold watch. The weather was very nice today. I thought I'd pay a visit here. On this little pretext, I'd get the chance to meet you. Bia ignored him completely, turning her head toward the back kitchen. Tayab, she yelled, her voice deliberately loud and sharp. What are you staring at over there? It's rush hour. Come inside quickly. You have to whisk the gram flour right now. The customers are waiting. The man chuckled, completely unbothered by her hostility. He leaned against the counter, trying to catch her downcast eyes. We have also come from very far away, Miss Rabia. If we could get some tea or water, or perhaps some fritters and stuffed pastries made specifically by your beautiful hands, the entire trip here would be worthwhile. Come later, Bia snapped, refusing to look at him. It's very busy right now. I can wait, the man whispered, leaning in closer, his voice laced with a dark, persistent confidence. It's really no problem at all for me. Bia slammed her cleaning rag onto the counter. She stood up to her full height, her eyes blazing with a mixture of disgust and rage. "Meaning, you won't even serve me tea from your eatery?" the man asked, his smile faltering slightly into a sneer. "For a person who has come from so far away just to see you, there should be at least one cup of tea. I've had absolutely enough of this," Bia shouted, her voice drawing the attention of the remaining diners. "What do you want from me? Don't you have any self-respect at all? I only asked for a simple cup of tea, and you won't get any tea here. Not today, not ever," Bia yelled. "Get lost from here right now, or I swear I know how to deal with you in other ways." "Bia." "Quiet, child," her uncle rushed forward, his hands raised in a panic, trying to placate the dangerous young man. "Sir, please, have a seat. Tayyab will take your order right away." "Uncle." Bia spun on him, her voice cracked with frustration. "You don't need to be afraid of him. I know very well how to deal with people like them." She spun back to the predator standing in her shop. "We are not to be feared. Don't be afraid, uncle. Don't you dare apologize to him. You will not apologize." She pointed a trembling, furious finger at the door. "And you. I'm telling you for the absolute last time, if I see you even near the perimeter of my eatery again, I will call the police immediately. Don't mistake our decency and our compliance for our weakness. You show up here whenever you feel like it, like you own the place." The uncle quickly stepped between them, bowing his head to the young man. "I apologize profoundly on Bia's behalf, sir. She is just a child, an immature one." He turned and shoved his helper. "Tayyab, get on a side. Go make the fritters." The man stared at Bia for a long, quiet moment. The playful smirk vanished, replaced by a cold, deadly arrogance. "She's a child, an immature one." He repeated the uncle's words, his voice smooth and threatening. "I am not used to this tone from anyone, old man. It's just that I've fallen desperately for her. Otherwise, no one in this entire region has the guts to talk to me like that." The uncle swallowed hard, trying to keep the peace. What will you have with your tea, sir?" The man's eyes locked onto Bia, a slow, terrifying smile returning to his lips. "The dried dates from our wedding," he whispered. Bia felt a cold shiver run down her spine. "I'll leave for now," the man said, straightening his collar and turning toward the exit. "But I will return very soon. And this time, along with the ceremonial dates, I will eat the grand feast for my and Rabia's wedding. Make your niece understand, old man."